Hi, so this is kind of a bit of an improvised video, but I've just been setting up LilyPond to work with Vim, and so that it like auto compiles everything and everything works nicely. And so I thought I'd share what I found out and basically explain my setup to you. So if in case you don't know, LilyPond is this music engraving software, which basically allows you to, let me switch the view here. So here's their website, and basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to write code like this, and then you can generate a music score from this code, and also generate MIDI files, and I guess like those are the two main things. I haven't used it myself a lot, so I'm kind of new to it, but it's a really interesting program. So I figured I would set it up because I'm kind of, the more I use like plain text based editing solutions, the more I kind of like them, and so writing a piece of music in a plain text file kind of seems like a better idea to me at the moment, as opposed to using something like maybe MuseScore, even though it's a perfectly, I think that's the website, musescore.org, yeah. But like this is also a pretty good application that allows you to kind of just, but it's like a graphical application. So I wanted and I knew about LilyPond for a while, and so I've been wanting to just kind of set things up, but like I was like, how do I hook it up so that like it auto compiles everything so that I can preview everything and also listen to what I create on the fly, so that it's sort of like I get the benefits of the plain text file thing, but also kind of don't lose all of the kind of things that come up with or come with something like MuseScore or something similar to that, where you can listen on the fly and everything is kind of more graphically presented to you, so that yeah, it's kind of easier to work with in certain aspects of it. So basically there's a few things that need to be installed. So first of all, basically what I did is I downloaded LilyPond itself, even though I had it installed from apt. So I'm running Debian Linux. Let me figure this stuff out. So like I installed it from apt. Currently, as of recording of this video, so this is the version 2.24.1 is the one that they have on apt, which is pretty recent, but I still downloaded the latest one, 2.24.3, from their website, and it's very easy to install. You just download this file, which is a tar.jz archive. I'm not going to download it again because I already have it, so I can just basically, let me open another window here, change to my home directory. So basically I downloaded this file, it's a tar.jz file. Then I went to a directory where I install software like this that just comes zipped, and then you just unzip it and you can start using it. I have a directory called opt in my home directory where I put all the software that is like that, and basically I created a subdirectory there, LilyPond, and then I extracted that archive in here. To extract, you can basically run tar-x. You can put v in there if you want to see the output, like so it lists out all of the files as it extracts, but you can drop it as well, just xf basically, and then it will extract everything to the current directory. So I recommend creating an empty directory first, because like in this case, it will. I think it creates a folder. To preview the contents, you can use the T option instead of the X. Stands for test. Sort of like, yeah, basically it will just output everything. So they already have this root directory. But like when you get like an archive like this, you never know, it might just create a mess. So it's best to create a new directory and then change into it and then start extracting there. So yeah, this is to just view the contents, then XF to extract. So that's what I did, and I got this folder. Basically standard stuff inside. Basically you have this bin directory where you have all the binaries, LilyPond binaries. And then what I did is I have another folder in my home folder, or rather like a subdirectory within the opt directory, opt bin, where I link, create symbolic links for all of the binaries of the programs that I install by using this method. So basically the next step would be to run ln-s v for verbose so that you can see what's going on when you run the command. And then you go like one directory down if you're using the same similar setup. So that's where I have my LilyPond subdirectory, and then go there /bin star, and then that will select basically all of these binaries, and then you pass the current directory as the target. And well, if I run like this, it'll say failed to create because I already have symlinks there, but that's how you hook it up basically. And you need to make sure that this bin directory is on your path, so add something to the effect of like in this case I would add like home /opt/bin colon basically a line like this. So I prepend I prepend this this path home opt bin to the current value of the path, and separate it with a colon because path is the colon separated string. And so like you can just add this to your like .bashrc file, that line, and that will take care of putting the directory on your path. If this sounds like something you don't know how to do, just Google this topic and you will find plenty of examples and articles and like YouTube videos and stuff like that that explain it to you. It's very simple. So that's installing LilyPond. Now, like I assume if you're watching this video, you're ready to do some work because there's quite a few things to install there, but it's really worth it. I like how it turned out. It's kind of everything compiles on the fly, and I can preview everything. I can listen to what I'm doing, so everything works out nicely. So don't be discouraged by sort of like a little bit of work that you need to do to set things up. Once you do, everything's working perfectly. So we installed LilyPond. Now let me see what's next. So the next thing is to install Neovim. Basically, Neovim is a fork of Vim, which is a text editor, like a terminal-based text editor. Yes, again, like one of those programs that it takes a little bit of time to learn how to use, but once you do, you become just like way more efficient, and yes, like it has so many advantages that it just kind of yeah, it's hard to summarize it in like in one sentence, but it's a really worthwhile editor to learn. It's very powerful, so I do recommend it. So like I said, we're going to be installing Neovim. Neovim is basically an extended version of Vim. So I use both Vim and Neovim at this point. I'm kind of new to Neovim, but I've been using Vim for a while. Basically, this is kind of actually the first kind of situation where I'll be using Neovim for something specifically, and because the plugin that compiles LilyPond is for Neovim, so I had to set it up for Neovim. So, but like installing, so this is extremely simple. They have on their GitHub, let me see, where is this? Yeah, so they have this install from package section in their README, and then if you click here, where it says releases page, I think, no, that's not, it's not that, hold on a sec. Where was it? Install.nvim, maybe it wasn't there. It was just like a link to the latest version. Yeah, okay, so basically go to find install.md amongst all of these files, go there, and here it says you can install Neovim from download packages or source, and yes, install from download. So basically pick your OS, so Linux for me. I'm not sure how to do this stuff on Windows at all, but I'm pretty sure it's probably also possible to set it up. Yeah, for macOS things should be more or less similar to Linux, but this is kind of a Linux tutorial, so I'm gonna focus on that. Basically, yeah, if you click this, you get to download a tar.gz file, gz file, yes. So let me show you that. It's exactly the same thing, basically. Yeah, this is the file that I downloaded. Then I just extracted it again to my opt directory. I created an nvim directory there, and then I extracted it. I renamed the subdirectory to this so that it contains the version, just so that I know what version it is. Yeah, and basically you'll link things in the same way I showed you before. I also have this symbolic link here. That link just links to this this folder so that I can basically what I did is when I changed to that bin directory, so if I show you the symbolic link for nvim, the path it refers to as nvim, so this is this symbolic link, the second nvim, and then /bin/nvim. So it's just so that I can swap out a version like in this alternative way. I should kind of do this consistently for all the software. I didn't do this for LilyPond, I'm not really sure which way I would prefer at this point, so this is kind of another way to do it. This way you can just then change the symbolic link, and then all of your links in your bin folder will point to whatever you set this link to. I hope this makes sense, but yeah, this is just kind of another way of doing the same thing. But the rest of it is just like the same thing. Tar, where was that? So here's our archive that we downloaded, and then you just tar-xf it in here, rename it to whatever you need, like the subdirectory that gets created. And yeah, and then just symlink everything in your bin directory, and everything will be working fine. I did have installed, or still do have installed, do have the nvim Neovim from Debian apt, but it actually didn't work with this plugin because the version turns out to be outdated. So if we take a look, as of the moment of recording of this video, if you're watching this shortly after I released it, which is right now, it's 1st of May 2024. So if it's around this time in history, then you might be better off installing them from GitHub, like I just showed you. So you could also try apt, but at this moment, basically the version is this, like 0.7.2, and the one that I installed is 0.9.5, so significantly older. So basically, yes, I installed this and I'm happy with it. I'll probably delete the apt one at some point. And so yeah, I did borrow the themes from the apt version. Maybe I'll show it later because I just liked the way those themes looked. I might throw in that information later on, but yeah. So basically, that's Neovim. Now let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is LilyPond, like this nvim-lilypond-suite plugin. So to install it, I use vim-plug as the plugin manager, but there's other ways, but this is what I'm gonna show in this video. This is just like I haven't planned this video, so I'm just kind of showing you what I did. So I hope someone finds it useful, and then maybe with some tweaks or maybe with no tweaks you'll be able to do the same, like set things up for yourself as well. So yes, like if you go to installation here, there's like two options basically, using packer.nvim, which I never used. I don't know how that works, but I use vim-plug, and for the vim-plug you basically just copy this line, and then if I open my, let me use nvim here, so config nvim and what was it, init.vim is what I have there. I still have like everything in Vim, but like nvim can also use Lua, but I have like a separate Lua file, but like I just copied my config from Vim for the time being, so a large part of it is still in Vim script. Yes, plug, I have this section plug here, and basically I just added this line here, and then you run plug update, and that updates all the plugins. Right now everything is up to date because I just installed and updated everything. But yeah, that's how it works, and that will install the plugin. Then you need to exit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know if it can like load everything without exiting, but I just exited. And then you need to also add some configuration for this plugin. There's a default configuration that they provide here. So if you go to this configuration section, there will be this stuff. So if you just copy it, essentially if you happen to be sort of like me, if you use Vim but haven't used Neovim all that much, or maybe even at all, like Neovim has this, you can basically use either init.vim as your configuration file or init.lua. You can't use both. You can't have like init.vim and init.lua in this directory. But what you can do is you can source a different Lua file. So that's what I did. I basically added this Lua require init at the end, and then so that gets sourced, you need to create a Lua subdirectory there and then put init.lua there. That's what I did, and that's where I pasted my this config. It's just this thing copied, so just click here, copy, and then paste it, and that will get you started on configuring this plugin Neovim. nvim-lilypond-suite. Very nice plugin. So yeah, that's just adding the configuration for it. I also added this auto command, which you can copy. Maybe I'll explain it in a moment, but yeah, so that's basically configuring the plugin. Let me see what else when doing, what else we need to install. Yeah, okay, so we also need a couple of things that are dependencies for this plugin. So like I said, there's like a few things to install, so bear with me here, but we're almost there. There's only 2 things left, I believe. Basically, you need to install FluidSynth, or you can also install this other Timidity MIDI synthesizer. I installed FluidSynth, and basically this section explains how to configure it and stuff. Like basically for FluidSynth, you can you need to have like a soundfont file, but I happen to have one like on my system. I'm not sure where it came from, but basically it might have been some package that I installed. Let me see. SF. Yeah, okay, so here's the where I found it. Basically in this folder, user share sounds, there's these like SF2 and SF3 subdirectories, and that's what I had there. It probably got installed maybe even with FluidSynth, because actually FluidSynth in my case got installed as a part of some other package somewhere. I ran like apt install, yeah, like sudo apt install FluidSynth. That's how I it was already installed, but yeah, that's basically how you install it. Just from apt, sudo apt install FluidSynth, or like whatever package manager your distribution uses. They have some suggestions here for like Arch Linux, I think, and for other things. So yeah, but basically they suggest to adding this sound font file in the configs, which is what I did. So I just put like a, where is it here, like FluidSynth flags. I created like a table here. That's what it's called in Lua, but just basically curly braces, and within them a string like single. Yeah, put single quotes there, and just add this path to that file. Like there's plenty of sound font files online. You'll have no problem finding one. You don't even have to like install anything from apt, but there is a package. There was something like GM. If I can, no, I don't. Thought I would have it in my history, but okay. So apt info. They had some like sound font fluid. I think it was fluid sound font GM, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay, so maybe this will work, but for me, like currently, that's not what is installed. Oh, actually it is. Yes, it says installed automatic. So maybe this is where these sound fonts came from. Yeah, you can also install. Let me see. So you can also install Timidity from apt. It's also on there. Apt info Timidity. So like you need to want to have one of those, either FluidSynth or Timidity. Let's see. So yeah, so look, it recommends this Fluid Sound Font GM. There's also Fluid Sound Font GS. Maybe that's why I thought it wasn't installed, because maybe that is not installed on my system. Yeah, like whatever. Basically, sound fonts are not difficult. So maybe like since this package is installed, this is probably where I got those sound fonts from. Let me actually. Yeah, I can try checking that out. I have this script that I wrote, pretty apt log. It's on GitHub. I'll put a link in the description. It can like show basically a log of from apt, and basically yes, you can find out where your packages came from. So I can let me see, Fluid soundfont GM, and that got installed. Let me see. This is just like all the dependencies that were installed in this session. Yeah, so like while I was installing one of these things, like it was installed. I don't know, but like if I were to install like them one by one, I'd be able to figure out which one came from where. But probably, yeah. But it definitely came from one of these packages in any case. Okay. So basically, that's FluidSynth or Timidity plus the sound font, and then finally you need also, yeah, you also need a PDF viewer. They recommend Zathura here, PDF reader, and they're absolutely right. Like I agree with this recommendation wholeheartedly, because it's a great reader. It's very lightweight, and yeah, basically really good. I installed it just from apt, and they also request that, or like they say that like basically if you install Zathura, you also need to have this plugin here. If you just go like apt list Zathura star, you'll get all the like the lists of everything that's available for Zathura itself, and then they also have this these additional things, and you can see which ones I have installed. So just like do apt info and check out what they do and figure out yeah, which ones you would like to install. This like is just deja vu support. This is a comic book file support, and then a PDF Poplar. They have a Poplar version here. Also over here they recommend, or like they ask for Mu PDF, but I guess Poplar works just as well. So as long as it can read PDFs, it's fine, I think. And PS is also just like another format that it can read if you install this this plugin. But yeah, you can see which ones I have installed over here. Basically, yeah. Okay, so Zathura. Yeah, so let me now switch to a slightly different view here, so they can see my entire screen. And yeah, let me see, maybe I can move my stuff over to another monitor like this. Yeah, like a bit inconvenient because I'm used to like seeing the preview, but that's okay. So basically, once you have everything set up here, let me see, like I was just doing this stuff, and let me try and remember what was the sequence. So like configuration, I didn't change much in here. I did I think this Zathura wasn't in here by default, so I added that. So yeah, add that so that it can recognize the PDF reader. And what else did I change? So I already talked about this. So basically, once you do that, you have key bindings, and they have like a page here on for like LilyPond-suite for Neovim, key mappings or something, mappings and commands, I guess. Yeah, LilyPond. So basically here are the default mappings for different formats that it supports, but we're going to be looking at LilyPond. So basically, okay, the first thing is here is like the contents of my current directory. Let me make it a single column. So right now I have this file open, welcome to lilypond.ly. It comes by default with the LilyPond. It's also included in that archive that we downloaded. So if I can show you where I copied it from. Opt, what was it? LilyPond, LilyPond something, share, LilyPond, and the version, ly, well, and then they have like a bunch of things in there which I think are templates, but they also have this welcome to lilypond.ly. Oh, you can't see that, hold on a sec. Welcome to lilypond.ly over there. So that's where I got that file from. It's just a sample file. So yeah, basically if you press F5, everything should compile. I slightly modified this file. I added like in the beginning it was basically like this, and if you do this it will I think like only compile the PDF or something. Basically change it to this. I'm not like I'm only starting out with the LilyPond, but basically you have to specify what it needs to output, and this adds both the MIDI and the layout, and we need both, like one for listening and the other one's for the generating the PDF basically. So if you press F5, that's the key binding, the default key binding in what's the name of this plugin I just installed? It LilyPond nvim-lilypond-suite. F5 is the default, and it runs this lily cmp command, lilycompile. So if I press that, there was a message that flashed there, and it basically compiles. You should see some additional files in your current directory there, so you'll probably get PDF and MIDI, I think, like once you do this. So now I can press F6 and that will open Zathura, and you get the sheet music that was generated. So so that's good. Now the next thing is to test out the playback. So for the player, the key binding is F3, and if you press that, what it'll do is, oh yeah, I forgot about, come on, like, I had to forget about something, but I forgot about one dependency. You also need to install NPV player, basically. Like NPV is just like such a standard thing, like I use it all the time, that yeah, you need to have that installed, because what it'll do is basically it's gonna use FluidSynth to convert MIDI to MP3, and then we'll play that MP3 file in NPV. So here they say install NPV, so do that as well. Yes, so if I press F3 now, so you can hear it playing. Now I pressed Q to stop. So, and you can take a look at all of the different controls for the player. Here's player mappings. So Q and escape to exit player, P to play and pause. Seeking is supported. So it's really nice. Like this is kind of a Neovim thing that it can do, like this floating window. That's not something that Vim can do. So yeah, pretty cool. And it's nice that you can like seek backwards and forwards and even increase the playback speed or decrease it. So pretty cool stuff. You can even play a part of the score. So if you're only interested in some part of it, you can select that part and just press F3 as well. And so it only plays those 3 notes. So that is just like great. So yeah, like you can see that it also generates like an MP3 file. So basically, to structure, you like the most sensible way is just like to create a directory for your project, and then you will have all of these generated files there, and that's just kind of normal. That's how this workflow works. Yeah. So I generated the MP3 so that it can play it in MPV. So that's how that works. I mean, I guess like this is kind of what I wanted to show you. Like I also pulled this other example of a different score from this page, lilypond.org/examples.html, and was somewhere like down here, tablature, just to show you, just like to throw in another example of what LilyPond can do. So we can try out that. Oh, I guess, well, yeah, let's take a look at this first. So if I press, well, I already have everything compiled, but I can press F5 to compile and then F6 to open Zathura. In Zathura, to have it like fit width of the available width of the window, just press S. And A, I guess you get this view. I'm not sure what it does. Maybe fit doesn't look like it fits height, but sorry, closed it by accident. But just take a look at man Zathura for the controls for the PDF viewer. Like over here, it has like AS, adjust window to in best fit or width mode. So I guess the other one was best fit mode. So like, yeah, I generated it, this score. We can try playing it too. I listened to it before. It didn't sound like all that great because it's just like a MIDI, like a very basic MIDI, not MIDI, but like a very basic sound font. But still, let's give it a go. So F3 to play. I'm pretty sure that the playback quality can be improved with a different sound font, but that's just something that is outside the scope of this video. And like in any case, this is just like to compose music, not to like listen to it. So that works just fine. Like I guess another thing that I just wanted to mention is that like when you edit, so for editing, let me take off these headphones. So when you edit, let's open this the PDF. Everything updates on the fly. So if I change this to like a different note, let's say I put a C there, So if you look at this like note at the end, the last one is the one that I changed. Once I save the file, it will compile. And like again, like I'm jumping from one thing to another, but like it auto compiled. I saved it and then it compiled automatically. If you haven't set up this auto command that I showed you here, you would have to like press first go like :W, then enter, and then press F5 to compile. But the point that I wanted to make is that like the PDF updates on the fly, so that's perfect. Like you don't need to like do anything. You just work with the text file, you save it, and then what you expect is just look to PDF to update, and you see it immediately. So that works just fine. But I was changing this note in case it wasn't visible. So like if I can change it again, maybe to like D or something, you can see that it updated again. Yeah. So there's that. Now about the auto command. Basically, just kind of copy this code that I put here. There is a let's just find the docs for this nvim autocommand lua, because that's what I looked at when figuring that out. So like over here on this page you can find the information on how these work. Where was that thing? Yeah, here is like the examples that I was looking at, but basically I'm kind of coming from the place of already knowing how Vim auto commands work, like in Vim script, but this is how you can create them in Lua. So buff write post means just that like some action is going to be performed after you save the file. Then pattern, that's what the file name is going to be matched against. So start.ly will it means that basically this auto command will get triggered for all .ly files, the LilyPond files, and then the command is just like what I added is silent, so that I don't get any like messages popping up here at the bottom, and then just lilycmp is the command, which is what they which is what this F5 is mapped to. So, and that's it. Like that's what I did for, so that I don't have to like press F5 manually every time for the PDF to refresh. They do suggest something different here, so I'm not sure like if it's all that necessary, but like basically they suggest another plugin here that you can also use. Let me see. Yeah, overseer.nvim. I tried installing it, but I ended up deleting it because it seemed not necessarily complicated. But I don't know, maybe there are some advantages to using it. I'm just not familiar. It's just like like basically you install it, you add this code to a certain file, which is all explained in here, and then like after opening a LilyPond file, you have to run this command and then select like the template that you just created, and then like okay, and then you have to also run overseer quick action watch, and then there was gonna be like a pop-up window where you can adjust some parameters. Then you can press enter, and only then will it start to like doing the auto compiling. But like I can just create an auto command for it. I don't know, like maybe there's something that I'm missing here. It's possible, but that's what I did for myself for now at least. So here's like you have now like two alternative ways to approach this. So let me see, like I'm just trying to think if I missed anything, because like it's just like all kind of I'm coming up with this stuff, or like I'm just trying to remember what I did and explain it here so that other people can benefit. don't think I changed anything else in this configuration at this point. Yeah. Well, I did remove one. So like if you want to, maybe this is like useful to just mention, if you want to remove a keep binding, use this in angular brackets or like between the less than and greater than signs, NOP with the capital N, that unbinds the key. I didn't know that actually, so that's what I found out for this insert version thing, because this is what it does. Like the default for that is F4. This is the default. So if I close this for a second and open it again, what it does, it inserts this line version such and such. It says here that it's necessary for upgrading to future versions, which it is, but like yeah, I just end up constantly, like if I hit F3, which is like to play, I sometimes just like insert version and then I end up doing something like this in a random place, which is not like for me it kind of stands in my way. And also F5 is to compile, even though I have an auto command, but maybe I'll like F6 is to open the PDF. It's just like they're too close together. It's very easy to just click or press the wrong button. So I removed that, so that now if I press F4 nothing happens. Yeah, so like overall I like this setup. It just allows you to work right here, and like let's open that guitar thing. So for example, maybe I'm writing some music here. I can just go like, okay, F5 to compile if I just started and don't have any files there. F6 to open Zathura. Maybe I'll move it to the right. And then yeah, just I can start playing it. F3 to play. Q to stop playing. Let's try out some of those like player controls. What else they have there? So tips and tricks. Oops. So player mappings. Alt space, switch between player and LilyPond buffers. Okay, so like let's say I'm gonna start playing. F3. Okay, it switches focus from the floating window to the editor. And you need to have the player focus to quit it. So that's nice. Okay, so like play pause. So I pressed P and it paused. Press P again, it continues playing. What else? Loop start, stop, clean. So okay, like either enable or disable the looping. Keep the okay, it does like an A-B loop. So I can so this way I can play like a loop a section of it. H and L seek backwards and forwards. Shift H and Shift L, seek backwards and forwards for like 1 second. Okay, that's nice. So like a can seek by a smaller interval. Cool. So half or double current playback speed. Super, or not super, Shift J, Shift K. So let's try that. Okay, that's nice. And then you can decrease current playback speed by 10%, J and K. Okay. Yeah, nice. So the player has some controls, which is helpful too. I think like by default the player sort of like plays in a loop. If that's something that you don't want, I believe there was a setting for it here. So in this player section, or maybe it was just like a key binding. Okay, so for MPV you can set options, and that's why it loops, because it has a loop there. So you could change that to like remove the looping, for example, so it only plays once, and then maybe you can press F3 again to play it again if you need to. So yeah, but okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So thanks for watching. I hope you've found this helpful and that you like this setup and that it helps you to write music by using LilyPond and have everything compiled automatically, and you can play it back and stuff. So yeah, there's quite a few pieces of software to install, but overall I like this, and I've been wanting to kind of to set things up for myself like this for a while. So I finally did it, and I decided to share what I learned, and I hope that someone else also finds it useful, and it helps them to set something similar for themselves as well. Yeah, this is basically it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next one.